Going live. Yeah, redirect to Facebook live page. Hey, we are live. Hello, UI community. You guys see the live series 10 seconds early than the rest of the people. Anybody
Hey
watching
guys.
this? Hi there, we got Benny here. Okay. Bowen, when you're ready, we can, I think we are good. Benny, you're good?
Yep. Ready.
Okay, we can let people in now. Hello. Hi, people. Hi, this is Paul here, co-founder of Ultimate Investing. Thank you for coming to our Ultimately Invest series. And today we actually have a very fit hunk with us. His name is Benny. You can see Benny in his singlet. So that's Benny Lam. And Benny is a fitness instructor. Well, I think I'll just let Benny introduce himself. Benny, go ahead.
Alright, so hi guys. My name is Benny. I'm a fitness instructor. I've been doing this for 7 years. So if you want to find out more about me, you can follow me on Facebook, Bodies by Benny. You can find me over there. So I joined Ultimate Investing at the end of last year in December, before COVID-19 took over the world. Wanting to find out how to make money on top of my job because my job is very active, and the moment I stop, there will be no income, and I will just be at home and thinking about things to do. And that exactly happened today. Today I'm stuck at home. We are all quarantined. We cannot do anything, and all of our income is like completely shut off. Active income that we make from working in the gym. I'm so glad I took up investing as a skill so that I can make more money during this time. And well, I think this is a season and time for us to really relook and rethink about our strategies in case situation like this happen. So for me, government government support during this time is way is damn little compared to what I'm earning, and it's going to help me tide through lah. But then it's not even remotely close to what I was getting, and it's really something for me to think about for people who are actively making their income to think about. And for me, I have improvised and I have decided to go online. So yeah, that's
Okay.
me, fitness trainer who is learning how to invest. Yep.
Okay, interesting. So maybe let us warm up the audience a bit. I think some are still streaming in. So let's see if maybe we can start with Benny the body. So if you all find that Benny has a nice body, please type nice, N-I-C-E, nice. Okay. So, Benny, how do you achieve this body? I mean, does it happen like out of the blue, or what? Were you always this fit, or something happened along
Um,
the way? Yeah.
when I was younger, I've always been like the taller one. I've always been a taller guy, and being Asian, I don't have the best genetics in terms of muscles. So there are three body types. So one is the skinny type, the muscular type, and the other one is the chubbier type. So the technical term for them is ectomorph, mesomorph, and endomorph, uh, respectively. So I belong more into the ectomorphic side. I'm more of the skinny type. My genet, I'm blessed with height lah. I'm always the taller guy. But if you're
How
tall and
tall are you, by
skinny,
the way? For people who've never met you before.
at this point in time, I am, as a fully grown adult, I am 1.93 meters.
1.93. Okay. You
Yeah,
mean you
1.93 meters.
fully grown, so you won't grow anymore?
Yeah, 27
Okay.
already. Maxed out
Okay.
already.
Okay.
Yeah, so when I was younger, I have always been vain. So I stumbled upon a Men Health magazine, and when I was like 7 or 8, and I was like, wow, you can achieve this kind of body. Well, it's,
8 years old at that
yeah,
time.
like,
Wow.
wow, your body can look like this. So at that point in time, I was set out to achieve that body already. But when I was in primary school, I was super active in sports. When I went to secondary school, I was lucky enough to be in a school that prioritized a lot in holistic learning. So I was from Catholic high school. We focused a lot on academics and also on things outside of it. So I was very heavily vested in sports. So I played basketball, I played volleyball, and I was in track and field. And I did all of this because I wanted to learn how to get stronger and build muscle so that I can achieve that look. Unfortunately, I didn't know how to do it well, didn't know how to do it properly. So it took me many, many years. I think I finally start to be happy with the way I look when I was 20, like in my mid 20s. Yeah, that's
So
where.
when was this picture taken? This half naked picture.
This half naked picture was taken in 2018. So about
Okay, so
2 years
2 years
ago.
ago. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Was this like your peak? Oh,
No lah, this is not my peak. My
okay,
peak is
okay.
last year.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
So you talk about as a sportsman in school and stuff like that. I understand you're actually part of the national team for track and field. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Sports is part of my life, and I have been a national. I was in track and field in secondary school, but I was actually a triple jumper. I didn't throw anything at all.
Okay.
And then I was part of the national youth team for basketball and volleyball. And then I stopped my sport fully during NS. And then after NS, I decided to get back into sports. So I was introduced to James Wong, one of the like a legend.
Legend for Singapore track and field.
Yeah, it's like one of the iconic figures in Singapore track and field. He won 10 SEA Games gold medal. And I had the good fortune to be introduced to him, and I wanted to pick up mentorship from him because I wanted to learn how to get stronger. And that was also the time I became a personal trainer. So I wanted to marry them both. But as I start to venture into discus, I start to like it a lot because it's very strength based, very heavily strength based, and I don't like to cardio. I hate panting. I find it very painful. So I find the way that works for me. So lifting weights and being in sports is my motivation. So after training very hard for 1 year, I've learned from him. His work ethics is like crazy high. I've picked up from him. And 1 year later, I managed to become part of the national team. And was very fortunate. That was at the end of 2014 when I was still in university, and I participated in the ASEAN University Games.
Okay.
And then from there, I continued to be part of the national team. I continued to improve all the way until end of last year. That's where I decided to focus on my career.
Okay. I see. Okay. As part of the national team, I'm not sure. I mean, maybe the audience will be interested. Do you get some sort of like, beside the sponsorship, do you get some sort of like a living allowance or stuff like that, or for Singapore?
You get allowance depending on your achievements. So Singapore is very practical. They only reward you based on what you can give. So I can say they are very ROI driven.
Okay.
So they tier you based on your achievement. So they call it the carding system. So there are 4 levels in the carding system. So level 1, you'll be in level 1 if you qualified for the Olympics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So in Singapore, there's less than a handful of us.
Okay.
Level 2, is if you make it for major games like Commonwealth Games and Asian Games. Level 3 is if you are a SEA Games gold medalist, if I'm not mistaken. You must be a gold medalist. And then level 4 is if you qualify for SEA Games. Can't really remember. Yeah, so you are good enough to make it in. So to qualify for SEA Games, your current results must be able to earn you a medal in the previous game. So that's how they gauge you.
Wow.
Yeah. So the allowance. So at level 4, I got about, I think, $600 a year.
A year. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so enough to take bus, huh?
I
Bus
get.
up and down. And then level 3, 1,002, level 4, level 4, 600, level 3, 1,002, level 2, 2,004, level 1, 7,002 lah. So
And
the allowance
this is a year, yearly.
a year is like,
Okay.
it's
Wow.
it's quite sad lah.
Okay.
Yeah. But then, I mean, you look at Singapore. Singapore is our main strength or our mode, so to speak, is not in sports lah. So it's
Okay.
really just an avenue for people to explore.
I
But
understand.
on top of this allowance,
Oops. I think we sort of lost Benny.
by the system, they will give you access to free sports doctors, free masseuse, free physio, and free strength and conditioning programming.
Okay.
So those are the perks lah of being a national athlete.
I see. Oh, no, I think I was lagging for a while, so let me just stop this. Okay, so much for Benny the sportsman. You've got some achievement and stuff, but you move on. So let's talk about Benny the coach. So what are you currently doing?
Right now, I am a freelance personal trainer. So I specialize in helping people build muscles and burn fat. So over the years, because of my desire to look good, I have been researching and learning from people and paying for courses to learn how to be someone who is good and helping people gain muscle and build fat now. So basically, that's what I do. I primarily focus on weights training, resistance training, teaching people how to use weights well and find the most efficient and time efficient and effort efficient way to get into great shape.
Okay. So before this COVID-19 steps in, you were actually working sort of, can I say it's like a personal trainer?
Yes, I am a personal trainer.
Okay, and the background you have, this is the company that you have.
Correct. I'm freelance. So I basically conduct my own practices lah. I manage everything on my own.
Okay, so now with so with COVID-19 setting in, so what has become of your freelance job now?
Totally got to stop lah.
So, non-essential, right? Is considered.
It's totally a non-essential service, and I fully agree that nobody needs to go to the gym at the moment. The main thing is to stop the infection, stay at home.
Okay.
So business revenue from that source, from that stream, practically like dropped to zero. Dropped to 100% gone.
Okay.
There are people who are willing to go on Zoom and conduct the training. Yeah, so there are some people who are willing to explore that.
Okay.
So a huge chunk of it is during this period, that stream of revenue has been totally cut now.
I see. So what are your plans? I mean, are you planning to do something? You have something online coming up,
Yeah.
Okay.
So during this time, I wrote on my Facebook page is we need to learn how. There's no point feeling sorry for ourselves. We've got to learn how to adapt and adjust the situation. And I think during mid-March, I already foresaw the situation escalating. So some of my clients, especially those with family members, with children, they are playing extra cautious. So they are staying at home. They're choosing not to go out. And the numbers of clients that I'm taking during that month starts to drop pretty rapidly.
So even before the circuit breaker?
Yeah, even before the circuit breaker, people were already very careful. And the gym that I was working at was taking extra measures to make sure that it is safe. So we can only work on alternate days.
Okay.
So there will be two teams. One team will work on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. The other team will work on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Yeah.
Okay. I see. Right. Okay.
So I already made plans. To shift my practice online.
Okay. And this week you actually conducted a trial, right? Something like that.
So during that time, I focused on developing an home-based online program where people and my clients can continue to stay in shape, get stronger, just using their own body weight. Okay, because
Okay.
movements are all like training is basically you're incorporating movements that target your body, upper body, lower body, like anterior chain, posterior chain, which is the front part of your body, the back part of your body, and then basically you just want to work developing on your muscles. So I've developed a home-based online program for all levels, and
Okay.
this week I am sharing with the public on how to train.
Okay. Yeah. Actually, two of the co-founders, myself, I've tried on Tuesday.
Yep.
Yeah, on level three.
Level three.
Bowen is in the picture. Bowen is our other co-founder. He actually tried
Yes.
level 2 also.
Thank you guys for the
So
support for coming.
it's quite and look at the picture. You see, it's a full house for your level 2 training, and a lot of healthy looking people doing that. So if you guys are interested to try this, I think tomorrow there's still a few sessions. You can actually book under this link, calendly.com at Bodies by Benny, or you can just follow him at Podium 60 Bodies by Benny on Facebook. Correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, cool. So at this point in time, probably I would like to open up to the floor. Any questions regarding fitness, health that you want? I think Benny will be kind enough to give us free advice at the moment. So you all can just feel free to ask any information. I think Benny not only looks at just weights training. Well, I had a conversation prior to this, and I was asking him, Benny, if I want a six pack, is it that I just keep doing weights? Does it work? He said, no, actually, the abs are made in the kitchen, not in the gym. So I was like, okay, very sad because I like food. Okay. So at this point in time, any questions from the enthusiastic people on the chat group? Yeah, I know Bowen has a question. Who is the handsome guy at the left bottom? Yeah lah, yes, you lah. Any questions at this point in time? No questions, really? Okay, maybe I have a question. Benny, regarding diets, I think there is a trend of people going vegan or keto diet and stuff like that. Maybe you can share with us what is your opinion on what diet works.
Fundamentally, the diet that works is the one that you can follow. So there are a lot of diets out there, like keto diet, low carb diet, low fat diet. There's a lot of diet that people put in place because people are like strong advocates for, because it worked very well for them. So they are sharing their own experiences, and a lot of people tend to take them as like the rules of their life, rules of dieting. So personally, actually not personally lah. If you think about it, all of these diets, they are all designed to help people achieve the same thing, to help people get into the shape that they want to do. So keto diet is a great way to get started, because when you go away from carbohydrates, your body will stop storing glycogen, which is stored glucose. And for every gram of stored carbohydrates you have in your body, you will store water. So the moment you go away from rice, biscuits, noodles, your body will start to lose a lot of weight very quickly. But you need to understand that you're not losing fat. You are losing the carbohydrate stores and water in your body in the first part. So in the beginning, like the first 3 days, you get to see results very quickly. And that is very motivating for a lot of people. So that is one of the good things. But then the other thing to ask yourself is, how long can you do this in Singapore? If you can do this, if you can foresee yourself doing this for about 3 to 6 months or for the rest of your life, then this plan is going to work very well for you. So basically, that's the question to ask yourself. Is this plan possible for me to do it for the long term or not? If you can say yes to this question, then it should work well for you. Generally, yes, find what works for you. Generally, avoid fried food, canned food, sugar, or minimize your intake, because there's more to life than just dieting. Keep it to about 80% clean, and you should be generally all right. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Actually, now we got questions coming in. I think those people, the people on the chat room have been quiet. They've been shy. So Ryan is asking, I previously got 6 chocolate bar abs, but now mine is like some big one small. Is it possible to reshape the abs to perfect 6 abs? 6 packs, yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing about Ryan. I don't know how old you are, but there is this thing called insulin sensitivity. It means basically it means how sensitive you are to carbohydrates. So in Singapore, where we are all very stressed out and we are eating Thai peng, all the local cuisines that are heavy and very heavy in carbs, and if you are inactive, our insulin sensitivity will drop. It means that we will not respond very well to blood, to carbohydrates. So when that happens, your body will start to find it harder and harder to you start to find harder and harder to lose weight, or you gain weight faster and faster. So for people who start to see that, hey, my pecs are gone and I suddenly become big, that's usually the problem. Your insulin sensitivity is dropping. For you to get back there, is possible, especially when you had it before. When you had experience training or when you had experience having a good body, it's always easier for you to get back to your previous condition. But like I say, everybody adapts to their environment. You probably get your one big abs because of whatever you're doing. Maybe because of work, highly stressed, not very mindful about your eating. The moment you start to look into all these things and you are willing to start making changes to all this, you'll be able to get your 6-pack abs, 100%.
Okay, thanks for sharing that. I think there's a few who are actually interested in getting into the fitness instructor industry. So Fel Tan is asking, how much can one earn working in the industry? So maybe just as a rough gauge.
I think the fitness industry is super big, so it really depends on which part you're at. So the more common route that people take would be to work as a trainer in a commercial gym. So that's usually one of the routes that people go to. I think from there, it depends on if you're a good trainer, a good personal trainer, or a productive one. I would benchmark them to do about 80 sessions, 80 personal training sessions a month. So from there, it depends on how high your commission is. So your commission, I would say comfortably, most of the trainers earn between $3,000 to $5,000 a month.
Okay, that's not a bad amount actually. Yeah. So I think Chokao is asking, how do you start and get clients? And CY is asking how much I expect to take home with coaching. So I think the coaching answer is pretty similar to what you mentioned just now as a personal fitness instructor in the gym, right? Okay. So
All
maybe Chokout's question is, how do you start and get clients? Besides working with a gym, maybe. Personal contacts.
Personally, I started out in 2014 when I was in university. I did personal training because I wanted money, like straight up. I feel like that's the only thing I can do to get a fair exchange for money. So that's why I did it. So I worked, so nobody know about me, like nobody knows who Benny is. So I decided to join a gym that can give me clients. So I work part-time for a gym. And then that's where I started to build my own reputation as a trainer. So from there, I worked with clients. I had the fortune to work with people who are willing to engage me as a trainer, and then I worked from there. But in the beginning, I was very hungry. I was very hungry to give people results. So I learned a lot, researched a lot, and even though I was competing as an athlete for 10 years, so what's normal to me is not normal to a lot of people. It's like for me, I can naturally just run faster, naturally can jump and squat better than most people. So the difficulty in the beginning is about empathy. But when you cannot squat, why you cannot do? It's like so normal for me, Okay. So I got started out that way, get empathy, start to recognize people's issues, and then start to build rapport with my clients. That they start to see. But most importantly is when you get people results, they are your walking advertisement. So when I got my clients' results, I was very happy. And then when they walked around, people saw changes in them, especially when they were never in shape. And then they suddenly get into shape. It's very people will start to be very curious. And then when they ask, oh, how do you get into shape? And then they say, oh, I got a trainer called Benny. Then they introduce word of mouth, word of mouth, word of mouth. And
Okay.
6, 7 years later, I also join marketing teams, marketing groups. I also go for networking events,
Okay.
and I'll go for seminars, branding, marketing workshops.
So you start
Uh,
building your network, and
yeah,
also you become more known in industry.
correct. Yeah.
Okay.
So personally, just need people to know about me, and then when people know about me, when they like you and they trust you and they see that you can deliver, give them what they want. Yeah, that's how I slowly build myself up.
Okay. So I think a question from Ryan, or Ryan's question to team already. I think that one you take it offline with, with Benny. You contact Benny at Bodies by Benny on Facebook. How do I
Mm.
change the six app to be equal and stuff like that? The thing to chim. So CY's question is, do you feel that you have a good work-life balance? I think before the COVID-19, now probably very good balance.
Okay, so as a freelance trainer, work-life balance is completely up to me. I can decide exactly how much I want to work. I can decide how many hours I want to work. So for me personally, my work-life balance is perfect. I don't overwork myself. I have enough clients to live comfortably, and I can train and I can meet my girlfriend.
Hmm.
My
Oh, you
work-life
got a
balance.
girlfriend. I think a lot of people, a lot of the girls on this webinar will be a bit disappointed. I shouldn't say that. No, just kidding.
Yeah.
Okay. So actually Benny, one question. I mean, I think as a coach, right, you totally believe in coaching. So when you join Ultimate Investing, right, you also actually took up our coaching. So
That's right.
do you so what's your belief in coaching? I mean, what's
Mm.
your thinking around that line? Yeah.
All right. So personally, I think life is too short, and if you are good at something, you probably won't have a lot of time for a lot of other things. So I always wanted to know more about investing, but it seems to be quite a huge barrier for me to cross over if I want to do it myself. So just like people who find me for training, of course, yes, if you are young and you have a lot of time, we have two assets, time or finances. If you don't have both, if you don't have finances, then you only have time. Then you need to go and learn how to build it. So if
Okay.
you are young and you have a lot of time with no finances, then time is your asset. Then you got to make time to really go and learn about stuff. So for me, I already spent a lot of time on my business and on my work. I don't have time to go online and learn and afford to make the mistakes that Rupi makes. So if I compare the value of time and the money that I'm going to invest in ultimate investing, is a no-brainer. Learning from people who has been there, done that, went through all the mistakes, but was there to always keep an eye on me, it's going to save me a lot more money than if I go and do it on my own. A lot of money and a lot of time. Just
Okay.
like personal training, you can go and online and you start to see a lot of information out there. You don't know what to do. You don't know what works for you. You get confused. You get injured, and then you end up spending a lot more uh, in whatever ways. Like you waste a lot of time, or if you're unfortunate, you get injured. Then you end up spending a lot more time and money on correcting all these mistakes that you make.
I
So
see.
coaching is something that if you understand the value of time, if you don't have a lot of time on your hands, coaching is definitely like I fully believe in it.
I see. I
Yeah,
see.
life is too short. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, actually, I think I'm just going to take one last question in this segment.
Mm.
Chokao is asking whether do you have an emergency fund for times like this, and is there any change in terms of spending for you? So how are
Uh,
you managing your finances, and are you doing anything
yeah,
with the
yeah.
money and stuff?
Yeah. So fortunately for me, I grew up in a humble background. So my relationship with money has always been healthy. I only spend within my means, and I have saved up some money.
Okay. Yeah.
And during this time, definitely the way I spend is much lesser. So for me personally, I love watches, and I like watches. Those are very expensive.
Mm,
So I have a few. I can't keep buying them because it's too expensive. And I
okay.
also love eating. So
Mm,
I like to eat good food. I wouldn't mind spending like hundreds of dollars on a good meal if it's worth the money. Absolutely worth, happy to do that. But because now everything is on lockdown, the thing that I spend my money most on, I don't really have the opportunity to do them lah. And I'm also more careful, so I'm at home most of the time. So expenses has dropped drastically lah.
Yeah, and you mentioned you save out during your working years and stuff, and that's why when you join Ultimate Investing, you also have a sum where you can invest into the stock market, right? So
Correct.
What you have been doing. Okay, cool. Understand. Okay, so the next segment we're going to move to is actually to talk about investing in the fitness industry. So I'll be hosting this session, but Benny will give his 2 cents worth, and you'll find that actually Benny is quite astute investor. Don't think that he's just all muscles and no substance. He's actually quite good. Okay, so but before we go to the next segment, right, I need you all to digest, read this, and basically spend the next 5 seconds looking at this one. This is what we call a disclaimer. Okay, because what we are doing here is we do not recommend any stocks or any buying advice. We are just doing sort of like a case study. So if you are okay with it, can you just please type okay into the chat group? I need to see a lot of okays before I can go. Cool. Okay, Ken, sure. So actually the fitness industry is very, very big. So when I was looking at it, right, first I was trying to find companies in Singapore that are in the sports industry. I can't really find them. I can't find any gyms listed in Singapore and stuff. The only apparel company that I found was this China company that was in 2014 found for fraud and delisted from the Singapore Stock Exchange. So in the end, what I did was I actually looked at what is the most valuable sports brands worldwide. And are you all familiar with all these names? Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, Reebok. Okay, can you just type your favorite apparel name into the chat group? Which one was it that you really like? That you like? Adidas. Wow. Nike. Oh, many likes Nike. Okay. New Balance. Oh, Vincent, you are a weird one. No. Okay, Chalk Light, Under Armour and stuff. Okay, so interesting. Yeah, so if you look at the next slide that I have, right? Okay, this is something I found. So there was a survey, but this is not a very wide scale survey. If you can see the number of N means the sample. So the sample size is only about 1,400 people in this case. So the sports apparel brand survey, right? So this one talks about the first color, blue bar is innovation. The second bar is fashion, and the third gray color bar is intention. So what this survey says that Nike has 40% of the people surveyed thinks that they have good innovation. 37% of the people surveyed thinks that they have good fashion sense or good fashion taste, and the last and 40% thinks that they have intention of buying a Nike apparel for the next one. So if you look at this, right, so we got Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, and then Lululemon. I'm not sure whether you all are familiar with Lululemon. It's actually a very niche brand that actually does specialize in more yoga stuff, okay, and stuff. So you can see these are the big boys. And if you look at the chart on the right side, you can see that this is actually the sales in million of US dollar in 2019 worldwide. So you can see that Nike has definitely been leading the pack, $39 billion US dollar, and then followed by Adidas, 25, and then Puma. Surprisingly, Puma is the third biggest. Puma is actually a rival for Adidas. For people who don't know the history, they used to be brothers. Adidas and Puma used to be together, but the brothers fall apart, as in the brother in the family fall apart, and one of the brothers went to open Puma. Okay, they are both headquartered in Germany. So in this case, Under Armour came in as a distant fourth, and then we have Lululemon, who is very niche, and the fifth. So you can see that actually the from the survey, right, branding actually does leads to purchase intent, and it actually in a way shows that it leads to sales. So branding is something which is probably very important in this industry. So Benny, can I check with you? You type Nike, you like Nike. What makes you like Nike? Can you share a bit about that?
Um, Personally, I like Nike because I like shoes also, and
Okay. Basketball shoes or just shoes
uh,
in general?
it's more casual shoes, more fashion
Okay.
shoes, but it originated from basketball.
Okay.
So there is this shoe series called the Jordans,
Yes.
and their shoes are so popular because it was made famous by Michael Jordan.
Yes.
So popular that there is a cult following and collectors on the shoes. Like a pair of shoes can cost thousands of dollars on thousand over dollars on.
Yeah.
And always whenever the popular models come out, it will always be sold out, and people will buy and they will resell it on carousel
Yes.
or for their own collections. So personally, I
Yeah.
like Nike because of that, and also because they are very slick. As
Mm.
in their branding is like sometimes their videos don't make any sense at all. Just a couple of good looking people running around, don't know what they're doing. Uh, but their materials are always have a lot of innovation, and people look good indeed. It just look nice.
Mm. Mm.
People like to be associated with Nike.
So can maybe I ask this question? Would you pay a premium for Nike versus other brands?
For the shoes, yes. I mean,
Okay, for the shoes,
yeah,
not
it's
for the
just
apparels. Mm.
apparels not really lah.
Pants. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
interesting. Okay, so I think Javis have a question. He says, is it worth it to invest in a pair of Nike shoes than the stocks? Maybe I will leave that question to later because I think Benny is pretty good in his stock investment actually. Okay, so if you look at companies, right? So I realized that to create the brand, what Nike does is they have this $1 million deals of endorsement. So I think the Jordan is still getting royalties from Nike for each pair of Air Jordan being sold. But I think now LeBron James, King James they call him, is the new face, and he actually have a lifetime endorsement deal starting in 2003 with Nike. And not only that, I mean Nike, I think knowing that basketball and football is two of the most popular sports in the world, so they also have an endorsement deal with Cristiano Ronaldo, and also Tiger Woods, maybe now not so famous and stuff. So Nike, what he does is they actually do a lot of endorsement that actually brings up the brand power, that people will admire these people and they wanted to own a pair of Nike or wear a Nike apparel and stuff like that. So let's look at one of the parameters we look at. This is we look at the growth that the company can achieve over the years. So we can see that Nike, this is the growth, earnings per share growth of the company. So you can see that if you see the 3 years average growth, if you look at the 2019 numbers, it's only at roughly about 5%. And you look at the 5 years average growth, it's about 10%, and 10-year average growth is about 12. So this sort of give you a feeling of how the company has been growing. So the growth is not really exponential. I mean, I would say it used to have better growth, but I think the growth sort of has tapered down. You can see that the 3-year average is only about 5%. So it's probably a giant, but it's not really growing so fast anymore for this one. Okay, so let's look at another company which is very high up the charts just now we saw. So Nike, Adidas is always following Nike very closely. So in terms of endorsement, right, Adidas actually have Lionel Messi. Who's football fan here? Maybe you can just type football into or soccer into the chat group. I don't know how many football fans here, or if you are a basketball fan, you can type basketball or inside. Okay. Oh, CS is a basketball fan. I didn't know that. Okay. Okay, so Adidas, right? If you look at Adidas, you see that it not only owns the Adidas group, it actually over the years have actually do acquisition. So actually Reebok is actually owned by Adidas. I'm not sure whether people realize that. The Adidas actually bought Reebok in about 2005 at that time. And also they venture into the golfing scene. So there's a TaylorMade, which is quite popular, the apparels in golf. And then you can see that even some of the business shoe like Rockport, that's actually owned by Adidas and stuff. So Adidas over the years has probably did some acquisitions, and they have sort of very rich offerings that they can offer. So actually, if you look at the growth of Adidas, you can see that actually they are doing better in the past few years compared to Nike. So we can see that the 3-year average is about 26%, the 5-year average is about 33%, and the 10-year average is about 23%. So by looking at these statistics, it seems to be growing better than Nike in the last few years, right? Okay, moving on. The third company that we want to talk about is this company called Under Armour. Can I check with you if you own Under Armour compression wear? Can you just type Under Armour or UA into the chat group? Because I think Under Armour come into fame because of the compression wear and the dry fit many years back. When they become famous. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Jason. Okay, Choka. Okay, Terrence. You all own. I own them too. So they have been doing very very well. Okay, until roughly about 2015. Okay, then it starts to get into some trouble with lawsuits saying that the company is misleading investors, media coverage around shady deals by the CEO, and also on the questions on corporate culture. So if you can just Google on Under Armour corporate culture and stuff like that, you find a lot of dirt being uncovered from this company. But they also spent one of the biggest endorsement deal in the basketball world. So they actually got Stephen Curry. Okay, Stephen Curry who's a very good basketball player. So he paid one of the highest endorsement deal with Stephen Curry. Okay, but you can see that what happened with Under Armour is it was doing very well from 2000 all the way to about 2015. Then things starts to take a turn, not so good in 2016. They start to have year-on-year growth, which is a negative. And then 2017 and 2018, it was so bad. It's nothing is being shown. And then you can see in 2019, actually they have not been growing for the past 3 to 5 years. So something went wrong with the company. They are not really growing that well, and they are actually suffering some problems with terms in company culture and stuff. So Under Armour has not been doing well, even though they are still ranked sort of like number 3 after Nike and also Adidas, but not doing very well. So as an investor, right, Benny, if you look at this sort of company, would you want to invest in them for this, or what's your take?
So one of the star in the checklist is growth. So based on this, I will not go in.
Yeah. So it's basically quite bad, but it could be that the company may turn around, but it will take some time, not so fast. So for us, when we are unsure, we actually avoid. So we'll probably avoid this company. Okay, I'm going to talk about 2 more companies, which is slightly more niche and different. Okay, can I check? Have you all known someone who owned a pair of Lululemon yoga pants? If you have, can you just type Lulu into the chat group? Okay. Oh, Benny knows. Okay. Bowen knows also. Okay. Cheryl. Oh, Cheryl, do you own one yourself? Okay. Lululemon is famous for its yoga pants. And trust me, the yoga pants are not cheap. Okay. When I was looking at this company, because as an investor, I like to sort of do this thing called scatterbutting. So I actually went to the store. They actually have a store in Takashimaya back in 2014 or 2015. So I was like, this stock has been doing very well. The stock price has been going up and stuff. I said, what is so correct, or what are they doing so right? So I actually sort of pester my wife and say, hey, can we go down and take a look at the Lululemon store? So she went in and she was looking around, and I was just checking out who are the clienteles. I was very surprised because one of the salesperson, actually their salesperson, right? Some of them are this thing called ambassadors. So ambassador, they have this ambassador program. They make like everyday people, okay, into their ambassador. People who likes to wear their stuff and then to go to social media and promote and stuff. So instead of doing superstar endorsement, they actually spend money on this ambassador program, which I think reaps a lot of benefit for them. So what happened is some people will go into the shop. I've seen one lady, she went in the shop and then the salesperson sort of know the person by name. So he say, Miss so-and-so, how are you today? He said, I'm good. I'm gonna get this series of yoga pants. What size? I want 6 pairs of it. My jaw almost dropped because one pair of Lululemon is easily $200. So 6 pair is $1,200. Then I was like, what is so good about this yoga pants and apparels that people are? So then I was like, I tell my wife, hey, you just buy some. Then my wife was very happy, of course, buy some. So I end up walking out of the store about $400 poorer. But what I found out was like the quality of the product is very, very good. And the fit is very, very nice. Supposed to meet your butt looks better when you wear Lululemon yoga pants. Okay. And what happened is also they have very good customer service, both online and offline. So the salespeople, right, actually have a very close relationship, or very friendly with the clients. And a lot of the salespeople are actually fitness instructor, part-time or freelancers and stuff like that. So they are really, they know what is required, and they really know what is good apparel with that. Benny, what is your experience with Lulu? I don't know, is it your girlfriend or something? You want to talk about that?
I first heard about this brand a few years ago.
Okay.
First of all, by the name of the brand, I was like, what's this
Lulu.
funky sounding brand, Lululemon? What are they trying to achieve over here?
Yeah.
So that's my first impression. Second impression is the price, like astronomically high. I mean, if you just look at Nike, generally, I think a few years ago, if you're wearing a pair of Nikes, if you're fully decked out in Nikes, you're considered well-to-do. And now, not so anymore with when Lululemon came into the picture. Lululemon is so expensive. Like a pair of shirts and a pair of shorts can cost you 3 digits. Like, what? Just a shirt, I can go to Under Armour and buy like 3 or 4. So first of all, it's the price lah. And then second of all is, I was lucky enough in 2017 that they. So personally, at that point, it's like, doesn't make any sense for me to buy from Lululemon. But yeah, in 2017, I was fortunate enough. I was connected to Lululemon, and then they gave me a shirt and a pants for free.
Ah, so you're sort of an ambassador, or are you?
They wanted people to try their products. So as a national athlete, at the point in time, they gave me a pair of shorts and a pair of shirts.
Okay.
And up to today, it has been 3 years. They still fit me well, and they are still in like tip-top condition. Okay. Apparently, they use this thing called silver threads to keep the shirt odor-free even after 3 years. Okay. And it has lived to its standards.
Okay.
So at this point in time, the price is still very high.
Yeah.
But if you are somebody who is very active, and if you have if your shirt tend to stink a little bit quickly, then Lululemon is a good investment.
Yeah.
And apart from just the quality of the product, there is a, I wouldn't want to say cult, but there is a following. Whenever you wear Lululemon, you kind of, you just different. Right? Yeah. It's just like wearing a Rolex instead of a regular watch. Like, oh wow, you're decked in Lululemon, you must be Thai or something like that, or you're cool. So there is the status factor to it as well.
Yeah, yeah, interesting. So actually, we can see that in the numbers of the company, the EPS growth is crazy. I mean, you just look at from 2010 onwards, the 3-year average growth was like 50-60%. It's one of the highest growth I've seen in the apparel industry, beating Nike, beating Adidas, and everything. So, and I was quite if you have bought the stock in 2015 and hold it until now, you are probably easily more than 200% up. I think when I first saw the stock, it was like $80. I think Lululemon went up to about $240 at its peak. Now it's roughly about $200. So, I mean, the stock price does follow the growth. So you can see that the company has been growing very, very well. So and then I think me and Benny, we both experienced why there's such of like a cult following for it. So my understanding of this is they're actually going after a very niche market, and this niche market, right? Actually, they are very actually if you read the investor relationship or the annual report, right? They actually tell you who they're targeting. If I remember correctly, they're targeting ladies in their 30s who are single and has spending power of, or should I say earning powers of more than 100K USD a year. So if they have a spending power of more than 100K USD a year, what is $200 US for a pair of yoga, right? And they don't have kids and they're not married. So they are very, very, they craft the marketing message very well so that they're actually targeting just this small but very rich and willing to spend group. So in terms of marketing, they are probably doing something very, very right. Okay, so the last company I'm going to talk to is actually a company that targets another group. Okay, this company is called Skechers. Have you heard about Skechers? If you have heard about Skechers, can you just type S into the chat group? See how many people are still around. Okay, quite a fair bit. Okay, you've seen, okay. Oh, Mabel, army shoe is Skechers an army shoe? I'm not sure. I mean, I'm MR already, so I don't know whether it's still there. Okay, so Skechers, to me, Skechers run a different strategy. They're actually targeting the not so professional people. The first look at this picture, right? What is the thing that strikes you? Is there things that actually strikes you? Yeah. Oh, actually, Terence, you're right. It used to be LA Gear. Yes, it's from the same people from LA Gear. Yeah, okay, Chok say it's a walking shoe. Yes, I think what really strikes me whenever I walk past a Skechers shop is the colors. For every shoe, right, they have at least, 5 to 6 colors. And they actually appeal to kids, okay? And one thing about Skechers is the shoe is very, very comfortable. They have this memory foam thing that they have. And what they do is, if you realize, right, the sole of the shoe is mainly a one piece. It's not a rubber sole, so it's a foam sole. And I actually bought Skechers. They're actually very good. They have the performance series, and some of the performance series, I think it's called the Go Run series and the Go Ride series. They're actually worn by professional marathon runners because of the cushioning and stuff. But I start to realize I own 3 pairs of Skechers previously, and I start to realize that the wear rate of this shoe, right, is very, very fast. Within about 6 to 9 months, if you run regularly, right, you will see that the sole will become flat. So it's actually a strategy by the company. Every 9 months, you need to change one pair, and because it's so comfortable, you will actually change back to another pair of Skechers. And then they also deliberately put the price point of Skechers at very low. So the walking shoes maybe start anything from $50, and then the higher end performance series probably about $100, but below $150, which is much cheaper than the Nikes and the Adidas. So this is something that Skechers seems to be doing right. So let's look at the growth and see whether Skechers have been doing okay. You look at it, it's a bit erratic, they have, but you can see that beside 2012 and 2013, they're probably not doing so well. The rest of the years, you can see that they're actually doing quite well. Okay, you can see that there's sort of a slight slowdown now in 2018 and 2019. But you see that on average, okay, if you look at the growth, right, it's roughly about 19% growth, which is still better than Nike. So you can see that even though they have a different strategy, they don't use professional as an endorsement and stuff like that. They are able to sell affordable shoes to a lot of people. So that's a way to make money, right, for them. Okay, so what we've done so far is actually look at 5 apparel companies, and we look at shoes and stuff. So what I want to share with you is this thing that we teach in our bootcamp actually. So it's one of the matrix that we use for our 5-star checklist. It's called growth, like what Benny has mentioned. So this is actually defined by Peter Lynch. Peter Lynch say that there's actually 6 types of companies. 3 of them are growing. So the slow growers, they are those who have less than 10%. The stalwarts are those who have less than 15%, and the fast grower are those that grow at more than 15%. So you can see that out of this, right, Nike is probably considered a slow grower. It's about 10%. Whereas Adidas, Lululemon, and Skechers are both in the fast grower category. And you can see that out of them, right, probably Adidas and Lululemon has been growing faster than the rest. Okay, and then of course Under Armour, because of the scandals that they're having and the corporate culture not doing so well, they are actually having a negative growth. So in ultimate investing, right, for us, right, we will definitely not invest in Under Armour at this point in time. Okay, but we will probably like companies with the red heart. So Adidas, Lululemon, and Skechers. Okay, but this is all good, you know, but with COVID-19, do you think that they are actually being affected? Maybe can you, if you think that they are actually affected by COVID-19, can you type a yes? And if you don't think they are affected by COVID-19, can you type no? Okay, I think most people say that they are actually affected by COVID-19, because these are actually the online sales. Because COVID-19, right, you know that Nike and everybody have to close their stores. So they no longer have that many stores. So most of their sales is actually through online. So this information, right, actually is talking about online sales through their official website. Okay, like underarmour.com, adidas.com, nike.com, puma.com, reebok.com. Okay, just for information, Reebok is bought by Adidas in 2005. So actually, either you buy a Reebok or you buy an Adidas, the money still goes to Adidas. Okay, you can see that there's a trend that Nike sort of has lesser sales coming through their official website, but the rest of the companies, right, generally have similar sales coming through. But this is only of their own website. There are also a lot of third-party websites now that are selling shoes like Foot Locker and stuff like that. Okay, but all this is no longer so relevant because of COVID-19. Because unfortunately, footwear is not an essential item. This is not something that is sought after at this point in time. So you see that the faster growing e-commerce category, right, is actually virus protected products, drugs, toilet paper, non-perishable good canned foods and stuff like that. So I would say at this point in time, they will definitely take a beating. You can see from their quarterly earnings that they will be having lower sales, and because of store closure and stuff, they will definitely not have so much growth. But saying that, looking at the growth of the different company each here, of course, just now previously we say that Adidas, Lululemon, and Skechers is something that we'll be interested in because of a good growth. But the next question is, if the growth is good, but the question is, are they undervalued at this point in time? Okay, can I have a C in the chat group? Would you like to find out if they are being undervalued? If you want to find out that it's undervalued, can you just type under, UNDER, in the chat group? Can you just type under in the chat group if you want to find out whether these companies are actually undervalued? Okay, so I will probably just keep a little suspense here. What I'll do is, if you go to our Facebook page, okay, Ultimate Investing, and what I'll do is in a few days time, I will calculate this matrix called a PEG,
Paul, we can't hear you. I think something happened to your mic. Yeah. Yeah. I believe this is part of your suspense because you don't want to let us know. So, yeah, we can't hear you also. Well, so while Paul is trying to set up his mic, okay, what we can do is if you think this is a surprise that is prepared by Paul, just put surprise in the chat group.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, it's not a prepared surprise. It's something called Murphy's Law. So I don't know which part did I go when mute. So I'm gonna talk about this all again. Yeah. So what happened now is what I'll do is I will actually want to tell you which of these companies are actually undervalued compared to the others. So I'll use this method called PEG, and from PEG, how to find out whether these companies are being undervalued. So what happened is if you want to find out the result, please go to our website called Ultimate Investing under Facebook, and then like the page so that once we post the result there, you will actually you can see the result there. And also, I believe most of you all come from our Ultimate Investing SG Telegram chat. So still be in the chat, invite your friends over, and you will find that we'll try to give you more value about companies and things that we find out. So if you like this sharing, can you just type like into the chat group? Then we'll know about this. We'll know that you actually like what you're hearing. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Shirley, Cheryl. Okay, thanks, Ming. Okay, Benny, is there any last words you want to talk about in this with the audience?
Yeah, I just want to answer just standard stuff lah. Just stay safe, be healthy, stay at home, and keep yourself active at the same time lah. So be active, and this thing shall pass, just like every other thing. So invest well, like Ultimate Investing, and if you want to find out more about training, you can join my class tomorrow. Yep.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Benny. And for your information, I didn't draw all this. It was Bo who drew this. I don't know why he's drawing. Why you like Skechers so much? Okay. And anyway, we'll post our findings on the website, on the Facebook page, and also onto the Telegram group. So if you want to know more about this, make sure you like our page. And so thank you for being a wonderful audience. And we'll see you for the next investing, Ultimately Invest series. And thank you. Can we have a big hand clap for Benny for kindly accepted to be interviewed? Can we just type a clap for Benny?
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
Jason, yes, Jason, you got a question, Jason. What was your question? What is your question? Jason, clap already.
Hi. I've got a question for Benny.
Yeah.
Okay, because I think one of the main challenges that people face, including myself, is that the discipline part. And I'm sure you have many clients that have that discipline problem as well. How do you go about helping them with it? And how should I get myself disciplined? Because there are times where I be disciplined for like 2 months, 3 months, and then I lose weight, I look good for a while, and then after I go back, and then it becomes terrible. Yep.
Okay.
Well, honestly, motivation doesn't come every day. So that's where discipline comes into play lah. Discipline is when you go and do something even though you don't like it. So there are always two things that I ask people to think about. So first thing that you want to do to make sure, actually I think the question that you're really trying to drive at is about sustainability lah. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, it's about sustainability lah. Whether this is something that you can do it for the long term. So for things to be sustainable, it has to be fun. It has to be fun for you. You have to like what you're doing. Secondly is whether you like the results that you're getting, and third of all, you need to have people to hold you accountable. Yeah, as long as you have these three factors, you should be able to sustain your practice.
Okay. Thanks, Benny, for that. Thanks, Benny, for that. And Jason, I hope that answers the question. Yeah. So, okay, thanks. So everybody, please stay safe, do your social distancing, and hopefully the numbers will come down for Singapore, and then we can all end this circuit breaker very soon. Okay, so stay safe, and then I'll see you guys for the next series. Okay, bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Investing.